Hey, what's up, RaeVibes fam? Welcome back to the channel where we delve into the wellspring of knowledge. Today we embark on a journey to ancient Greece, a period that birthed some of the most influential minds in human history. We're talking about the legendary trio, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. These philosophers, with their groundbreaking ideas and relentless pursuit of truth, laid the foundation for Western philosophy as we know it. Socrates, the gadfly of Athens. Imagine a barefoot, scruffy man roaming the bustling streets of Athens, peppering everyone he meets with questions. That's Socrates, the original gadfly who believed in relentlessly questioning established beliefs to stimulate critical thinking. Unlike other sophists, teachers for hire of his time, Socrates didn't claim to possess all the answers. Instead, he used the Socratic method, a brilliant technique of probing questions designed to expose contradictions and lead his interlocutors, conversation partners, towards their own truths. Born in 470 BC, Socrates lived a relatively simple life as a stonemason. However, his passion lay in philosophy. He spent his days engaging in lively discussions with anyone willing to participate, from politicians and playwrights to artisans and everyday citizens. His wife, Xanthippe, wasn't exactly thrilled with his unorthodox lifestyle, but Socrates, ever the philosopher, found humor even in domestic squabbles. One of Socrates' most famous sayings embodies his core belief: the unexamined life is not worth living. He challenged the Athenian aristocracy and its blind adherence to tradition. This unsurprisingly ruffled some feathers. In 399 BC, he was accused of impiety, disrespect for the gods, and corrupting the youth. The trial, a travesty of justice, resulted in a death sentence by hemlock poisoning. Socrates, ever the Stoic, accepted his fate with dignity and died surrounded by his disciples. I am neither wise nor do I claim to be, but those who think themselves wise are actually foolish. Socrates. Plato, the student who became the master. Plato, born around 428 BC, was a young aristocrat with a thirst for knowledge. He became Socrates' most devoted student, deeply influenced by the gadfly's relentless questioning. After Socrates' death, Plato traveled extensively, encountering diverse philosophical schools of thought. Upon his return to Athens, he established the Academy, the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. Unlike his teacher, who never wrote anything down, Plato left behind a vast body of work, primarily in the form of dialogues. His most famous work, The Republic, outlines an ideal society governed by philosopher-kings. Plato believed in the existence of a perfect world of forms, ideal versions of everything in the physical world. We, in the physical world, can only perceive imperfect shadows of these forms. Plato's theory of knowledge, heavily influenced by Socrates, emphasized reason and logic. He famously used the allegory of the cave to explain his view of human understanding. We are like prisoners chained in a cave, ignorant of the true nature of reality outside the shadows cast on the cave wall by flickering firelight. Philosophy, according to Plato, is the process of escaping the cave and into the sunlight of true knowledge. Necessity is the mother of invention. Plato. Aristotle, the all-knowing mind. Aristotle, born in 384 BC, entered the scene a generation after Socrates. He hailed from Stagira, a small town in northern Greece, and found his way to Plato's academy at the young age of 17. Though a brilliant student, Aristotle sometimes disagreed with his teacher's emphasis on the world of forms. He believed that true knowledge comes from studying the natural world through observation and reason. Unlike Plato, who focused on abstract ideals, Aristotle was an empiricist, emphasizing the importance of experience and the senses in acquiring knowledge. He meticulously studied biology, physics, ethics, and politics, making significant contributions to each field. His vast intellectual curiosity earned him the nickname the all-knowing mind. After Plato's death, Aristotle established his own school, the Lyceum, where learning thrived in a garden setting. His focus shifted towards the systematic classification of knowledge, a revolutionary approach that laid the groundwork for future scientific endeavors. Beyond the Big Three, a constellation of stars. While Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle undoubtedly hold the spotlight in ancient Greek philosophy, their era was teeming with other brilliant minds. Here are just a few who deserve recognition. Zeno of Elea. This pre-Socratic philosopher is famous for his paradoxes, which challenge the very notion of motion and plurality. By using clever thought experiments, Zeno demonstrated logical contradictions in the idea of something moving from one point to another or the existence of multiple things. His work, though seemingly counterintuitive, forced mathematicians and philosophers to grapple with the concepts of infinity and divisibility. Epicurus, often caricatured as an advocate for hedonism, Epicurus actually championed a life of pleasure guided by reason. He believed that true happiness comes from achieving tranquility by eliminating unnecessary desires and fears. His philosophy, Epicureanism, emphasized living simply, cultivating close friendships, and experiencing moderate pleasures. Epicurus's ideas stood in stark contrast to the Stoicism that would later emerge, offering a more relaxed and pleasure-oriented approach to life. The Sophists. This group of traveling teachers were known for their emphasis on rhetoric and critical thinking. Sophists like Protagoras challenged the idea of absolute truth, arguing that truth is relative to the individual. They believed that people could learn the art of persuasion to navigate the complexities of social and political life. While some saw them as undermining traditional values, Sophists played a crucial role in developing the skills of reasoning and argumentation that became hallmarks of Greek philosophy. The Cynics, founded by Antisthenes, cynics like Diogenes of Sinope, challenged societal norms and advocated for a simple life guided by virtue. They believed that external possessions and social status were unimportant, and that true happiness came from living in accordance with nature. Their unconventional ways, like Diogenes living in a barrel, made them a source of amusement and even scorn. But their emphasis on living virtuously resonated with some. Despite all these, a few controversies surrounded these philosophical giants. Socrates, the gadfly with an appetite for trouble? While Socrates is revered as the champion of critical thinking, some scholars argue that his methods weren't entirely innocent. His relentless questioning, often employing irony and sarcasm, could be seen as deliberately provoking and even manipulative. Imagine being relentlessly bombarded with questions designed to expose the flaws in your thinking. Not exactly a recipe for making friends in high places. This gadfly approach may have contributed to his downfall, as some Athenians viewed him as a subversive influence on the youth. Plato's perfect world, a utopia or a dystopia? Plato's Republic, outlining a society ruled by philosopher-kings, has sparked debate for centuries. While some admire its emphasis on reason and justice, others see it as an elitist and potentially oppressive system. The idea of a ruling class with exclusive access to knowledge raises concerns about social mobility and individual freedoms. Aristotle, the all-knowing mind with blind spots? Despite his reputation as the all-knowing mind, Aristotle's views weren't without limitations. His ideas on the natural world, while groundbreaking for his time, were based on observation rather than experimentation. This led to some inaccuracies that later scientific discoveries would disprove. Additionally, his views on social structures, particularly his justification of slavery, raise serious ethical questions in our modern world. The impact of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle on Western thought is undeniable. Their ideas on ethics, politics, metaphysics, and logic continue to shape philosophical discourse even today. 1. Socrates' legacy lies in his unwavering commitment to critical thinking and the pursuit of truth. He challenged us to examine our beliefs, to question authority, and to engage in open dialogue. 2. Plato's legacy lies in his exploration of the nature of reality, knowledge, and the ideal society. He introduced concepts like the theory of forms and the allegory of the cave, which continue to spark discussions on epistemology and metaphysics. He laid the groundwork for scientific inquiry, and his meticulous categorization of knowledge served as a foundation for future generations of scholars. These three titans of ancient Greece weren't always in agreement. They challenged, debated, and refined each other's ideas, creating a vibrant intellectual landscape. Their legacy serves as a testament to the power of reason, the importance of questioning, and the endless pursuit of knowledge. So, the next time you find yourself questioning the world around you, remember the spirit of Socrates. When you delve into complex ideas, recall the brilliance of Plato, and when you seek to understand the natural world, channel your inner Aristotle. That's a wrap. We journeyed through ancient Greece, met the big three philosophers, and discovered some hidden gems. Their ideas still echo today. Keep questioning, keep exploring, keep the philosophy flame alive. Hit that like button and subscribe for more thought-provoking adventures. Until next time.